good evening. We're going to call this meeting to order, our November board meeting, and if you'll rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. We want to thank those of you who are joining us online via YouTube. Glad to have you with us, and it's good to see all those smiling faces out there as well. Finally seeing people. So next on the agenda is remarks by board members. Do you have any? Mr. Hawk, which it's Mr. Hawk's birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
Do you want me to say how old you are?
Well, it's the 20th anniversary of my 20th birthday.
There you go.
And we'll keep it there, but we say this, I know, probably every meeting, but I think you deserve to hear it, and our teachers who may be watching, but just so appreciate the effort that you, administrators, teachers, staff, put in every day. You know, the challenges as we hear and listen, and honestly even pray for all of you. The challenges are great, but I could not be more proud to be part of a very, very small part of the Blue Springs School District. And my daughter, who is a 5th grader, has had an incredible year at William Yates Elementary, not because the challenges have not been great, but the challenges have been met. And so I applaud all of you. So thank you very much for the hard work.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Cohen?
I had the privilege of working the election last Tuesday, and I cannot say enough for our custodial staff that we have in the various buildings that were used for that purpose this last Tuesday. The gentlemen were there before we got there. They opened the building for us. They provided us with some water, and the gentlemen from the evening shift were there, closed up, helped us break down. They couldn't have been more accommodating, and it's just a part of our district, what we do to take care of those people who use our buildings.
Thank you. Anyone else? I think we all ditto what both of you have shared in your comments, and we're grateful for the dedication and the commitment that you make on a daily basis for students and your fellow staff. So thank you again, and you guys deserve a round of applause. All right, Dr. Kinder, Superintendent's update.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to give up my time tonight for a very special presentation. I'd like to call up Lieutenant Mike Russell of our Department of Public Safety, and he has a special presentation this evening, one of his officers.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Kinder, School Board. Thank you for this opportunity to shine the spotlight on one of our officers. On September 23rd, 2020, Officer Stevie was in the lunchroom at Mormon Ridge Middle School when she observed a student bent over at the waist and grasping the lunchroom table. The student was unable to speak and he was choking. Officer Stevie immediately, and with verve and purpose, performed the Heimlich maneuver on the student, freeing the airway obstruction. The nurse on duty at the time said that the actions of the officer were in fact life-saving for the child. Officer Stevie, your unselfish actions during an emergency which resulted in the saving of a human life, your application of training and experience exemplifies your dedication to duty, the preservation of life, and your service to the staff, students, and parents of the Blue Springs School District. It is for these reasons I am presenting you with this department's first life-saving award to Officer Rosemary Stevie.
Congratulations, Officer Stevie. Thank you so much for your work and your commitment as well. Our school resource officers are the top, and they're at the top of their game, and we're just so appreciative of every one of you, their skills and your commitment. So thank you. All right. We have the consent agenda ahead in front of you, so I will need a motion to approve. Mr. Westerman, okay? And, okay, first one, Mr. Swanson, that's the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. And it's 7 in the affirmative. Next, we have our adoption of the regular agenda. And I need a motion. Mrs. Cohen?
Second.
Mr. Seams? Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And it's 7 in the affirmative. So now we're going to turn it over to Mrs. Wolf.
Thank you, Madam President. It is my pleasure to introduce our November Employee of the Month, Marissa Giangrasso. Marissa is a kindergarten teacher at Sunny Point Elementary and has been with the district for 11 years. Marissa has also taught 1st, 3rd, and 4th grades and has been at Sunny Point her entire teaching career. Marissa has poured her heart and soul into Sunny Point Elementary for 11 years. In each teaching role, she has diligently worked to learn the curriculum and utilize her broad knowledge to differentiate instruction. She can reach all students because of her experience, vast knowledge base, and most importantly, her quest to learn new things. Marissa is committed to solving struggles that any student presents. When Marissa has a student that presents a behavioral or academic struggle, her first question is always, why? She's determined to get to the root of a child's struggle to help them for life versus a temporary solution. She's committed to real change and improvement in herself and her students. Marissa works with the Regional Professional Development Center on Positive Behavior Supports and brings the professional development back to the school. She's been the building ITech, a member of the CARE team, and on the district math leadership teams. Marissa is also the building mentor for new staff. She's the first person new staff get to know, and she provides them monthly professional development as well as a friendly face to go to with questions. As the building mentor, she guides new staff with district initiatives, curriculum, and building procedures. Sunny Point Elementary Principal Cassie Gingelbach said of Marissa, "She uses her incredible drive to achieve excellence. The expectations she sets for herself and her students are high, but her positive attitude, courage to try no matter the outcome, reflective mindset, and ability to absorb new knowledge is higher. I'm in awe of her persistence to give each child what they need. If a child struggles, she's the first to give hope to parents, the first to reflect on her data, and the first to make a plan. The true sign of excellence is watching her work with her student teacher. Her ability to teach another adult the art of teaching is nothing short of jaw-dropping. She provides feedback on the spot and is impacting the future of many children by mentoring aspiring educators." Sunny Point teacher Kate Kaywood said of Marissa, "I've had the honor of working with her for 5 years. Through those 5 years, I've seen countless numbers of students who have been impacted by Marissa, both former and current students. She's one of those teachers you never forget and always go back to visit. The dedication and love she has for her students shines through every day. Her classroom is a home away from home for her students. Marissa exemplifies what it means to be a teacher." With Marissa tonight is her husband Dominic and her children Melina and Cora. Please join me in congratulating Marissa Giangrasso.
Thank you, Dr. Kinder, for this honor. Thank you to the board for your support for teachers. Thank you to Cassie Gingelbach and Allison Spencer for seeing my potential and challenging myself as an educator. Thank you to my parents and my sister who are my biggest cheerleader. Thank you to my husband, Dominic, and my girls. They're supportive and very flexible with the demands of a kindergarten teacher, being a wife and a mommy too. I'm very humbled to receive this award. Since I was a little girl, I always dreamed of being a teacher. Yes, growing up in our basement, my sister and I had our own classroom. This is when my dream of educating children started to become a reality, even though my students were only stuffed animals. As an educator, I went through school with the mindset that I wanted to impact and make a difference in students' lives. However, sometimes we don't always get to see the influence of a child until later in life. I am the product of the Blue Springs School District. I know she said I've only been teaching for 11 years, but I've been here since kindergarten, 27 years. So I want those to know who have impacted my life to know that they made a difference. My education journey began at James Walker. From Mrs. Rayburn and Mrs. Fay, I learned how to read and be confident in myself. Mrs. Barnhart and Mrs. Brooker showed me compassion and kindness. At Brittany Hill, Mrs. Zumwalt shared her passion for ancient history, which sparked my interest. Mrs. Gill showed me empathy and took pride in building positive relationships. At Blue Springs High School, Coach Ferris, Coach Bach, and Coach Manuel believed in my athletic ability. Dr. Jerome brought history alive. Mr. Adams cared for me like I was his own daughter. Mrs. Stottlemyre trusted me to teach her kids while I was her student teacher. Dr. Johnson, Dr. Goose, Mrs. Gingelbach, they supported their teachers and their families. And now Sunny Point, I work with very dedicated and inspiring teachers and administrators every single day. Our students and families feel well loved and that they belong at Sunny Point and at Blue Springs School District. Many other names come to mind that have also impacted my life while a student and now a professional in the Blue Springs School District. This is an amazing place to be. I'm an educator because of each of you. Thank you for your support and believing in me.
Very well said. Thank you, Marissa. Congratulations. That's a great trip down memory lane too as well. All right, Mrs. Wolf.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Alex Reed, our October Student of the Month. Alex is an 8th grade student at Paul Kinder Middle School. He's been a straight-A student throughout his middle school career and is currently involved in the National Junior Honor Society and the school play production crew. His teachers describe Alex as one of the kindest students in our building, very respectful, and a person who goes above and beyond in all that he does. Counselor Dan Hicks said Alex is a student that every teacher dreams to have in their classroom. Principal Steve Goddard said Alex is an outstanding young man and is a great example for others. He is a first-class person. Alex wants to be a banker or involved in accounting when he grows up and says the thing he likes most about his school is his teachers. Paul Kinder Middle School theater teacher Katie Oakenquist said of Alex, he is the epitome of the perfect student. He's responsible, motivated, and hardworking. He always strives for his very best at everything he does, even the smallest tasks. Alex is an even better human being than student. He's one of the kindest people at Paul Kinder Middle School. He's always willing to help his peers and teachers and offers nice words of encouragement when he sees it might be needed. I've had Alex as both a student and a member of my production crew all 3 years of his time here at Paul Kinder Middle School, and I truly feel lucky to have known such an awesome kid. With Alex tonight are his parents, Teresa and Terrace. Please join me in congratulating our October Student of the Month, Alex Reed.
Good evening. I would like to say how honored I am to be here today. It was unfortunate I couldn't be here last month because of quarantine, but I'm happy to be able to come here today. I would like to thank my parents for all the love and support they've given me throughout the years. I would like to thank the PKMS staff and teachers for our preparation for our future. I would like to thank the BSSD board for allowing me to be here today. Once again, thank you all for giving me this honor and opportunity.
Well done, Alex. Very well done.
It's my pleasure to introduce Sophia Turnbow as our November Student of the Month. Sophia is a 5th grade student at Franklin Smith Elementary. She's a straight-A student, an artist, a horseback rider, and a member of the 5th grade book club. Sophia is a student that wants to be an active participant in making her school and community a better place. She's been a dedicated member of the Student Senate for 2 years and is the first to share an idea or volunteer for a project. Through the Leader in Me program, Sophia is an environmental leader at Franklin Smith. Her responsibilities include hanging the flag in the morning, watering flowers, and putting out and picking up the school's 7 Habits sign, reminding students how to be effective citizens. Sophia's motivation for good is seemingly never ending, as she and one of her friends have asked to do a community service project to help the homeless this year. Outside of school, Sophia is a small business owner. She runs and operates Sophia's Shop, a bakery she started while in kindergarten. That year, Sophia entered her first ever vendor fair. She loves to bake sweets from scratch and create new recipes. Franklin Smith principal Jenny Alderman said of Sophia, "She is a leader who understands that setting goals are essential to overall success. She has continued to set goals for herself as a friend, a student, and a Franklin Smith community member. She strives to be the student that sets an example for others to follow. I've enjoyed getting to know Sophia and am impressed by the legacy she's leaving at Franklin Smith." Sophia's teacher, Jordan Myers, said she comes to class every day excited and motivated to learn. She is attentive, respectful, and is always willing to share her thinking with the class. Sophia's positive attitude and eagerness to learn shines bright in our classroom, and we're so lucky to have her as a Mustang. With Sophia tonight are her parents, Jody and Matt. Please help me congratulate Sophia, our November Student of the Month.
I'd like to thank my school and my parents and my family. I'd also like to thank my teacher and my principal.
It sounds like you're a little entrepreneur.
She's like, I'm out of here.
Well, I want to congratulate both Alex and Sophia on their leadership skills and for being trailblazers in their schools. So very well done, guys. That was fast. All right. Next we have our MSBA update.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's board report for the month of November. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the important work of school nurses during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are approximately 1,600 school nurses in school districts throughout the state working every day to keep our students, teachers, and staff healthy so they can continue to teach and learn. Their work is especially important during the COVID-19 pandemic. The director of the Missouri Association of School Nurses, Linda Newman, tells MSBA COVID-19 has taken quite a toll on the social, emotional aspects of a lot of children, and it's often the school nurse that's first to recognize those issues.
When the children keep asking to come to the school nurse, what seemed like a simple headache or stomach ache to a teacher or another staff member, as the school nurse is able to see them one-on-one and kind of, start conversation and build trust, you often find other things that are going on at home. Maybe mom or dad have lost their job and there's increased stress at home. Maybe grandmother who lived in the home with them has passed away from COVID. There are just so many different factors right now.
Newman says school nurses are likely to be the designated people to conduct rapid testing for COVID-19 in school districts that choose to participate in the program. Newman adds school nurses are working with local health departments on contact tracing when COVID-19 cases arise. She also says school nurses are encouraging everyone to get a flu shot this fall. She says school nurses are encouraging students and families to stay vigilant by continuing to wear masks, wash hands frequently, and maintain social distancing. As you may know, state law now requires all school board members to not only receive training in their first year of service, but also 1 hour of refresher training for every subsequent year of board service. The training must include concepts covered in the initial training, plus the prevention of sexual abuse of children. The MSBA Leadership Development Committee now has added completion of the MSBA refresher training as a requirement for achieving advanced, master, and distinguished board member certification, as well as the governance team award. MSBA's immediate past president and chair of the Leadership Development Committee, Rhonda Gilstrap of Blue Springs, explains the new requirement for governance team recognition.
And in order for that to happen, all 7 board members of a particular board that is seeking out the governance award needs to have completed the additional hour of refresher training.
Visit the MSBA website for information on the various levels of board member certification, along with details on the governance team award. Does your school district have an emergency operations plan? MoEOP is a new web-based application developed by MSBA's Center for Education Safety and vetted by several school district safety personnel that will assist school staff responsible for emergency planning to create, store, and share school plans with school personnel and approved first responders. Bob Klossmeyer is an education safety coordinator with the Center for Education Safety.
Emergency operations planning can be a long and drawn-out process, ultimately concluding in an extensive and detailed document. Our team at CES recognizes this challenge and has launched an interactive web-based development tool designed to reduce the burden on schools, simplify EOP creation, and improve the overall safety climate for Missouri education.
The Center for Education Safety is conducting regional webinars about the new MoEOP application and train subscribing schools on the use of this new tool designed to keep our schools as safe as possible. Filing for school board seats up for election in April opens on December 15th in most school districts in the state. MSBA will have updated free resources available to school board candidates posted on the MSBA website, including a candidate's legal guide to running for the school board and information on the roles and responsibilities of school boards. Filing for school board seats closes on January 19th. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.
All right. Well, our agenda is pretty short this evening, and so the last thing on the agenda is calling for a November executive session. So I need a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Hawk,
Second.
Mr. Swanson, and it will be roll call.
Mrs. Gilstrap.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Swanson.
Yes.
Mr. Denny.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly. Yes. Mr. Hawk.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Seames.
Yes.
And Mr.